So there on the right of your picture, you can see the weights that each lifter has proposed for their opening first attempt. So Nathan Morris from Johannesburg to get us underway, 135 kilos loaded on the bar. As I said, loads of people looking out for him back home from the Pirates gym, including his girlfriend Brittany. But he's going to need to raise his game, isn't he, for the second attempt?
Yeah, we take a look here. Bar swings around his knees and the shoulders go back at the top. It's just a small swing on the bar, but it's enough to leave it out in front. When the bar swings, you really need to be catching it directly overhead, but it's very hard to control. And these guys, well, they're going to be big, they're going to be tall, hands are going to be out super wide.
Just to prepare for the games, he won that. Got a personal best in the snatch of 136 kilos, so this is just 1 kilo below that. Second attempt, must get. Come on. Well, it's wobbly. Nonetheless, good enough for 3 white lights.
The 3 white lights is what he was after. The fist pump.
These first attempts are so important. When you miss that first attempt, it immediately starts to limit your ambitions. But you absolutely cannot afford to fail a second time. Right on the edge of the platform. That was better, surely.
The centre referee doesn't agree. Right arm, as he stood up, there was movement in it. The jury aren't moving, so they're happy that the lift will be given.
That was Shyamala Shetty of India, who is the central referee.
Just take a look. His right arm, our left, as we see the picture, bent. Now it's straight.
Suamini Nanai of Australia, 160. Singh Gurdeep of India, 160. Just to give you an idea of what we need to look forward to. And the lifter from Pakistan, Mohammad 170 kilos. So Nathan Morris for his third attempt. 6 kilo increase here to try and collect 141 kilos. Good lift, new personal best.
And the best of the 3. He'll be a little frustrated, reflecting back on the first lift he missed. But he's put the wrongs to right. 2 out of 3, and he finishes on 141. He seems pretty happy with it.
Sri Lanka on the stage again. Now he has lifted 145, but the problem is that he didn't manage that first attempt. Well, he's got a bigger mountain to climb, shall we say.
Yeah, 7 kilo increase based on how tricky the 138 was. Seemed a little bit crazy to me. But he went for it. He obviously had a target weight he wanted to finish on. Not to be, just not enough height on the bar.
Up to 157 kilos for Quinn Everett.
This is brilliant. I'm just watching the loaders running up and down on the platform.
So here is Quinn. Comes from a lovely part of the world, Halifax, Nova Scotia, on the east coast of Canada. Debut at the Commonwealth Games. Just kept himself on the platform.
And some information I found out just before the competition as well is Quinn has literally only just come out of isolation after testing positive for COVID. He's missed a couple of weeks training at a crucial point coming into this Commonwealth Games. That really is quite unfortunate for him. He wasn't particularly ill with it, but he wasn't allowed to train. So he's literally a couple of days out of isolation. He comes out here, executes the first one. He'll be relieved to get that on the board.
As will his girlfriend, Geordie. Well, this is quite some occasion for this man from Australia, Suamini Nanai. First weightlifting competition ever outside his hometown of Perth.
That's insane.
The local newspaper described as the hulking West Australian beast has got his first attempt.
It looks so easy, David. That really did. He could do that for 3 reps. Extension is good, speed under is good, catch is a little high. Just looks so comfortable.
He reminded me when he was in Glasgow in 2014. Apparently, I described him as the man mountain, but he's not coming out at the moment because it's Samoa. 160 kilos for Patelo to Iloma. First attempt, 160 on the bar. Excellent.
Really strong off the floor, tugging the bar with his arms, but he gets good leg drive to get the upward momentum on it. This sport isn't just about brute strength, there's far more to it than that.
And here is Gordon Shaw on 161. Trains out of the Gold's Gym in Johannesburg. Warmed up for these championships in the Europeans in Tirana in April. Good opener.
A fast opener. That was lightning quick underneath the bar, and it is so impressive, especially when you get to this kind of body weight, to see the guys moving at this speed, in and out of extension rapidly. And it's that speed that gives him the time to get underneath the bar. Brilliant lifting from Gordon.
His gym is his garage.
It's got to be a high garage.
I said, does it get a bit cold? And he said, not a bother for us in Canada. So, 162 kilos on the bar. He's got 157. So 5 kilo increase here.
a shame.
Well, he was close to the front of the platform previously, but held on.
I'm not sure how that didn't hit the camera at the front. That was close. Lift itself, not bad, just slightly on the toes, but he ran out of room. Watch the bar hit the edge of the platform.
Well, 165 is his personal best, so 164 tells us that this is a weight that he has achieved on a competition stage. When I refer to the personal best, I'm always referring to personal bests that have been achieved in this weight category on a competition platform. In training, these guys have lifted more. Well, that's a real disappointment. As you said, not easy because he's had to stay, as it were, isolated and not able to train and prepare absolutely in the way that he would have wished. But nonetheless, only gets 1 out of 3, so it really, again, limits his ambitions. He's going to have to try and make up some of that deficit in the clean and jerk. And the bar goes up a kilo to 165 kilos for the Samoan. Quite remarkable, isn't it? The number of lifters who are making their debut. This is not only a debut, it's his first ever international. It's the first time he's ever boarded an aeroplane.
It's a pretty big stage to come to for your first international.
Down signals there, 2 out of 2.
Yeah, the reason he took a moment there was because his feet were not in line. He did have the down signal, but he wanted to show he was totally in control. Really good extension. Yeah, happy. Solid receive.
Until 6 months ago, this man was a carpenter, but then quit his job to focus on the preparations for the Commonwealth Games. So to the defending champion, David Litty for New Zealand, all 182 kilos of him. Hails from, well, just close to Auckland, lifts out of the Strength HQ gym. So I hope you're all up and on his side as he sets out to defend the title he won in Brisbane 4 years ago. A little bit of Pyrrhus Demos.
Now, you've got to love the showmanship, and when you've got the credentials under your belt that David Litty has, this was a pretty convincing opening lift, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
It flew.
One of 7 sisters and 3 brothers in the family. So to India, Singh Gurdeep from the Punjab, works for the Indian Railways as and when required. 4th in the Commonwealth Games 4 years ago. Wants a medal today. This for the lead.
Oof.
Well, effectively pushed the bar forward.
When he looked to the elbow, the left elbow came out of lock as he received it. The line of the bar not too bad, slightly forwards, but the left arm buckling meant he had no chance of recovering it. He was trying to run forwards as it happened, but when that arm's gone, there's nothing you can do.
Well prepared, which he is. The Indians should be able to recover from that, but Gordon Shaw, 161 to 167, 6 kilo increase here explosive execution.
Outstanding lifting from Gordon Shaw. A man full of confidence. This bar flew, tipped forwards quite a long way off the floor, but managed to be solid as a rock underneath.
Now, come on, Mr. Singh, we need this second attempt. Much better.
How easy was that?
Well, again, one of so many lifters we've seen throughout the past 5 days who's going to go backstage and say, why on earth didn't I do that first time?
This is super comfortable. If he can catch in that position, how much further can he go?
If successful, this will be a new Games snatch record.
So 170 is what he announced and said he was going to do. And if he gets this, he will establish the Commonwealth Games record for the snatch. The standard is 169. The bronze medalist of 4 years ago. And he told me he's here to get a shinier medal from the Punjab in Pakistan.
Take note, this man has a huge open on the clean and jerk as well. The rest of the competition will not want him getting too far ahead on the snatch. But he's established himself, he's here, and he means business.
Who's actually a leading seaman in the Royal Australian Navy. Second attempt. Well, those extra 10 kilos have beaten him this time around.
10 kilos, a decent jump. Too much here, he's got to find more legs, he's got to generate just a tiny bit more height on the bar.
Here's the champ. Also going for 170 for his second attempt. His mum, Simi, and dad, Sissy, looking on back home in New Zealand. Impressive.
Very, very impressive. A man in command. He's got his work cut out, though, here. He may be defending champion, but he's got to dig deep. He needs every kilo he can on his last attempt. Really good technically. Speed under the bar is brilliant.
And so to Samoa. Patalo to Iloma. Third attempt is to keep him on the premises. Disappointing. Drops back a little bit. That leaves him on 165 kilos.
The early arm bend means the legs can't be maximally effective. Just again, doesn't quite get enough height on the bar.
So, Suamini Nanai of Australia now, third and final attempt to try and get these all-important 170 kilos. well, that's a real setback, because that drops him back to 160.
Yeah, and again, you've got to ask the question, was that too big a jump? Clearly on this occasion it was. You're never to know, are you? You gamble, the coaches take risks, the athlete is pumped up, full of adrenaline. They always want that bit more. And they don't care that they're supposed to go off the stage. They just take a moment to do what you've just described. Stand on the platform, just soak it up.
Well, talking about soaking up, this man's all about lifting it up. And the first one was absolutely spot on. 173 kilos for Mr. Butt from Pakistan. Respect. Well, you said it. Yeah, and he's asking rightly for a bit of a...
Hold fire a minute, David. Sorry to interrupt, but there is a pause from the jury. They would like to take another look at this lift. So...
Well, I've just looked at that, and I'm not quite sure why.
Yeah, sorry, I missed the replay there. I'm sure we'll get another replay, but just while the jury are confiding and having a look. Here we go, let us take a look as well. Looking for the elbows. Left elbow possibly bent, but as he stood, he twisted. It's very difficult to see the movement. What do the jury make of it? I'm not the jury, I'm not the referee.
As much noise as you wish to make, you can make.
You do need a slightly better system, though, where the jury can notify everybody straight away.
I want to point something out here. Only one person in the jury is absolutely head on to that monitor. You've got jury members who are looking from the wings. They couldn't possibly see the angle.
Well, let's just see what the decision is. A decision has been made. We have the slowest person ever walking to the announcer's table to give the decision. Here it comes.
The jury has to review the tape of Mohammad, and so it is a good lift.
Good lift.
Quite right too. But I want to make the point that you've got a tiny monitor, one person sitting in front of it, and the other people who are asked to make a decision are looking at a very acute angle.
Yeah, they could definitely sharpen up, maybe just have one person reviewing.
So Gordon Shaw, 173 for 3 out of 3 to complete his opening sequence. Fingers crossed, because he's really pushing himself here. Oh. That was not that far away, Michaela.
No, it really wasn't. Most lifters allow the clock to tick 30 seconds. Big tip forwards as he comes off the floor, and that's hard to recover from. See, it pulls him forwards, he then tries to recover. So close.
So just at this moment in time, Mohammad Nooh of Pakistan leading with 173, which is a games record for the snatch. David Litt, the defending champion, David Litty, I should say, I beg his pardon, on 170. And this is 173 for Singh Gurdeep of India. Well, that's really disappointing. He lost the first one. The second one was very solid.
The second one, David, was easy, and it's a real shame here. But remember, this is not all about pure strength. This is very much about how they move with the bar. You've got to be technically precise. We're moving at speed into really challenging positions with a very heavy load.
And it's a real shame, because one or two lifters are, in a sense, making the task for the Pakistan lifter and the defending champion just that little bit easier, or easier.
Well, David Litty, who is just waiting, biding his time here. He needs this.
Remember, the man from Pakistan still has one attempt. but he's stuck on 170.
175 kilograms.
Well, he's got a big clean and jerk,
He's going to need it.
but Mohammad Butt from Pakistan has got a bigger one.
Yeah.
Well, Leety's posted a 216 just to whet your appetite, whereas Mohammad Butt 230.
Yeah, and Mohammad Nooh is now going to attempt 175 kilos. That would put him 5 kilos ahead of David Litty.
Yeah, he's not taking any silly increases here, just 2 kilos up on the weight he's just landed. Sensible.
Well, as I mentioned in the introductions, his dad was a silver and bronze medalist at the Asian Championships years ago, and it was his dad who first got him into the sport. So this to enhance his advantage.
Low lift, no way is he getting that. That is a ridiculous amount of strength to hold it. But that was a huge press out from both arms.
Yeah, but he's got a bit of craft, doesn't he? He reacts as if it was a good lift to try and convince everybody that it was good.
Can't believe he even got one white light on this. Take a look. It's near enough resting on his head.
Well, David Litty, for one, will breathe a sigh of relief.
Unbelievable strength to be able to do what we've just seen.
So we come to the halfway point of the competition, and it is the man from Pakistan in picture who does lead the competition with 173 kilos ahead of David Litty of New Zealand, 3 kilos back on 170. You can see those active wristbands in that particular picture. So, 3 attempts per man. Everybody alive in the competition, all 9 lifters.
A very unusual hand positioning. There must be some reason for that. So, I mean, I struggle with my hand positioning, but he's got his arms inside his legs, hands inside the knurling. Now I can only assume that he has issues with mobility holding the bar on his shoulders, but that's super uncomfortable there with the hand, the knuckles resting on the shoulders, drives to arm's length. And with the hands that close, it just looks very, very awkward. If anything, you want your hands a lot wider, but to get the elbows up with the hands wider. So very interesting. Let's see how he goes. Let's wish him all the best here for his second attempt. Could do with getting this one on the board.
Well, a failure at the second attempt puts maximum pressure onto him now because he's got 1 attempt to get a total. And to be honest, I'm not sure.
Well, he needs the crowd this time to get behind him, to lift him, to help him along the way.
So, Nathan Morris, final roll of the dice here. He makes it, he gets a total. He misses, it'll be a horrible memory. First stage, get the clean.
Does well to stand.
It's so unusual, so extraordinary. Everything about his technique is not something we're used to seeing.
No, I mean, the way he actually moved with the bar was really good. Technically very sound. It's just the hand positioning that we're not familiar with. The knees outside the arms is uncommon. But I would like to know the reason for this. But yeah, it just looks very, very close. I mean, my hands come in awkwardly close. It just makes the jerk so difficult. He does well to stand. He nearly buckled at the bottom. Here he gets a really good lockout, but the hips, unfortunately, are behind the bar. Back leg is straight, back foot pointing out.
You might have noticed also on the clean, his elbows came dangerously close to his knees as well. So some work to do, but sadly no total for the man from South Africa. And now to Sri Lanka.
I'm not sure.
2-1 against him. So Ushan Wardana Patirange.
Take a look here. The clean is fine. There's no issues with the clean, but the jerk, it's the right arm that we need to watch. The bar must go to arm's length first time. No movement in the elbow. His right arm, our left as we see it. Bent, straight. There's the press out.
Right, he only made 1 out of 3 snatches, and he only brought forward 138 kilos, so unfortunately, any sort of challenge for any sort of medal, that went out the window long ago. Well, that's definitely better.
That one's absolutely fine. Good lockout, both arms. He's got one on the board. 175 gives him a 313 total. Gets good extension on his toes to stand. He does well there.
Increase to perhaps earn himself a total of 318 kilos. And he was hoping before this evening began for at least 320. Not his day, I'm afraid.
No, not much to report here, just too much for the day. He bows out with a 175, that whipping of the shoulders back, hips flip forwards, didn't land on flat feet.
Of course, the Commonwealth Games is at a very different level to the World Championships and the Olympic Games, but just to highlight the difference between the levels, Lasha Talakhadze of Georgia, a total of 492, 267 kilos he lifts in the clean and jerk. But Gordon Shaw now 195.
He's all right.
The the clean wasn't that easy.
No, I'd say this to me was a nervous lift. He didn't quite get the extension at the hip to generate maximum power. As a result, caught the bar with his chest a little collapsed, dipped, paused. I thought he was going to stop for a cup of tea then. That's really hard to get the bar moving. Ideally, you want to dip and drive in one continuous movement, but he's powerful enough, he's strong enough to still get the bar to arm's length.
So takes the competition into, or up to a new level with a total of 362 kilos, and Suamili Nanai, Quinn Everett has gone up to 201. So what is Samoa going to do? Because Petelo Tuiloma, he's gone up to 201, so goes back to Suamili Nanai. Well, he's got plenty of support back in Perth at the Ox Weightlifting Club. Andrew and Jay Sexton, who used to be British weightlifters out there running that gym. Stands still, gets the down signal, gets the white lights, and achieves a total of 361, just a kilo behind Gordon Shaw.
Catching the clean on his toes, ideally wants to be landing on flat feet to drive out. Pretty good overhead, just a few wobbles. He's got one on the board, that's all that matters.
So, Canada's turn now. Quinn Everett to try and pick up 201 kilos. In his case, 157 kilos is what he brings forward. So that's 3 kilos less than the Australian, who was just successful. But this will put him up into 3rd place. And that's a decent jerk overhead.
Very decent. He's a tall guy, long way for that bar to move. And remember, you missed the snatch to fill you in. He hasn't had the best prep for this competition. He was isolated for a couple of weeks, so meant he missed out on a couple of weeks training just before these games. I think he's only had 1 training session before this competition.
Now, McCullough, if we were to assume that the real battle for gold and silver is going to be between David Litti, the defending champion, and Mohammad Butt, then we're right at the heart of the battle for the bronze medal.
We are, but I think we need to be really mindful here of Singadeep from India. He's got a pretty decent snatch on the board, and he's posted a 210 on the clean and jerk as well, so he can easily make up the deficit.
First, though, it's Samoa at 201 kilos. And that's a good lift.
Very impressive. He's a great build for this sport, isn't he? Not too tall, short to compact, and mightily powerful. Early arm pull that we see commonplace with most of the Samoans. They're just so strong. Big drive, splits long, very good overhead.
Gordon really needs this because there are 1 or 2 significant increases that have been made, and he needs a better clean, that's for sure. And that is the costly failure.
Well, costly on his first attempt. He didn't quite get the extension at the hip. Once again, it's not there, and he catches with those rounded shoulders. Come on, Gordon needs to keep that back strong, chest high to catch it. Easier said than done when you're playing about with over 200 kilos, 203 to be precise. And he's still got loads of time on the clock, 1 minute 20.
Got a personal best of 2:05, so 2:03. It's possible, but as I said just before he started the second attempt, the clean is essential. Got to do this economically. Come on, stand up. Come on. Running out of gas.
He's run out of gas. And that was a really good fight. You can see just how hard the clean was. Better extension, keeps the chest up, and has to work so hard here. He gave it absolutely everything. Just not enough legs left for the jerk. I'm sure we're going to be seeing Gordon hit these weights and more in the not too distant future.
Yeah, a bit disappointing for him, because I did say at the end of the snatch phase he had an outside chance of the medals, but not to be on this day, and the competition moves on to enhance his position at the top of the table. But Singh Gurdeep of India, David Litti, the defending champion, and Mohammad Nooh Dastagir of Pakistan yet to start. Come on. Oh, that's good. Good fight to get his 206 kilos. Excellent.
That's an outstanding battle. It was him against the bar from start to finish. The bar was testing. Hardly enough height to get underneath, and somehow he did. Stagger backwards to steady, the awkward adjustment, and then somewhere he found the legs to drive to arm's length, and this was a convincing jerk. Super powerful, so fast into position, and that's in slow motion.
So on the stage comes Singh Gurdeep. Now, he had posted 2:10 for his opener. He's reduced to 2:07, but that may be just the circumstance of the competition. Makes nothing of that. And that's a good opener.
No, I'd say there's a reason. Something went wrong in the warm-up room, which is why he's come down. There's still too many lifters left in for him to get complacent, but that was convincing. So if there has been an issue, it's not evident here. He caught the whip lovely. I talk about the whip. Watch the bar bending. That's the bar whipping. You catch the whip right, and the bar will twang to where you want it to go.
So a total of 374. He leads ahead of the Samoan. That's Patelo Tuiloma. So this would be 367, which would put him up into third place. This is his second attempt. Would just overtake Gordon Shaw, who's currently third.
Let's take a look here. It really drives powerfully with the legs, gets pretty good extension. Keeps the chest high. Now he's a tall guy, doesn't have the legs to drive it high enough. My thoughts to split longer, get the body lower. Not quite at arm's length. He needs to do something. If he's unable to drive the bar any higher, he's got to get under it.
This crucial third attempt. So, once again, this is a 9-kilo increase. Even if he gets this, I don't think it's going to be good enough ultimately for any sort of a medal.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
And he's celebrating as though he's got it.
Well,
2-1 in favour, but
no.
I regret to inform you, the jury have raised their flag. They will be taking a brief look. And I fear they may see what we've seen, which is bent elbows there. And then straight elbows when the bar comes to stationary.
Yeah, just to expand on what Michaela was just saying, the jury have a yellow flag, and every time they indicate that they're not satisfied with the result from the referees, the president of the jury pokes that in the air, and the competition is brought to a halt while the review takes place.
I think the next stage is to find a more efficient way of them letting us know so we can inform you quicker. At the moment, the decision has been made.
Well, I'm absolutely clear that the president of the jury should make the announcement, and not only that, he should explain, or she, if it happens to be a female president of the jury.
So the decision is in. The last attempt has been reversed. No lift for Quinn.
What I was going to say was, I think the president of the jury ought to be the one who announces whether it's a good lift or not a good lift, and also explain why.
Totally agree with you.
You know, like so many sports these days.
Take a Dallas Santavi from Canada and said, I'm going to challenge that.
Yeah.
Take another look. They're challenging the jury that are the ones that have made the decision. Why not? You've got a challenge card. Give it a go.
Yeah, the problem about it is that when the jury make the decision, the challenge card is virtually useless.
Yeah, it goes back to them. So this, I mean, Dallas was even... Dallas has even got a big smile on his face with this challenge. He knows the chances are very slim.
Attempt, or increase, I should say. Now, these may be big guys, but 14 kilos.
This is big, really big. This to put him up into the lead. So there is significance to the number.
Well, he's conscious of the fact that he wants to get into potentially the bronze medal position. He's got 2 goes at it. This is only his second attempt. One more go.
Super slow off the floor. Speed off the floor is irrelevant. These are heavy weights. You've got to be able to really explode from mid-thigh. See how fast he got under? Needs a little bit more explosion on the way up. The early arm bend pulls him forwards. Means he doesn't quite get enough extension. Well, he's capable of getting under it. Does he believe it?
Well, fortunately, he's got a bit of time because Singh Gurdeep of India, leading the competition, also wants 215. But for him, it's an 8-kilo increase, which, on the face of it, should be a lot more manageable. But, of course, if he gets this, this will take him to 382 and make the task for the Australian even more monstrous.
No lift. Right arm. Oh, he's got it. 3 white lights as well.
Well, let's have a look out.
Jury's flag is up. I think.
Yeah,
I mean, we've
Yeah.
got head in hands from the jury here, as if to say, how did you miss that?
Robert Rose from the Seychelles, the technical controller, making his way to the jury desk. So this is all about the bronze medal, and it's Patelo Tuiloma of Samoa. He's looking for 2:15. This is pretty important. Now, this is a 9-kilo increase, and this would take him to 380. And then Singh Gurdeep of India would have one final attempt, as would Suamili Nanai of Australia. So this to go into the lead.
Nowhere near. Didn't believe it. Too big a jump, too much for today. The last lift took a lot out of him on the clean. Acknowledges the crowd for their support, and he bows out.
But first international, he's acquitted himself pretty well.
Not a bad performance. Biggest platform he's ever competed on.
So at the moment, Singh Gurdeep, who has one more attempt left, is in possession of a medal, potentially. But this man
has the potential to go ahead of him.
He does indeed. Suamili Nanai in his first big international.
This is a huge lift, as you alluded to a moment ago. Up 14 kilos from that first attempt. Come on.
Not to be, and the result of that failure is that Singh Gurdeep, who still has the one opportunity to come out for 2:15, is going to get a medal. The only thing we don't know is what colour it's going to be.
Yeah, pulls the bar onto him, knocks himself backwards. Pretty much impossible to recover from that position with that kind of load on the shoulders.
Just looking at the scoreboard, a lot of red, a lot of failures. So Singh Gurdeep has put up his third attempt to 2:20. Meanwhile, the defending champion, David Litti, who, if I remember, I think he was going to come in on 2:16, and he's up the bar to 2:18. This is to try and gather in a few kilos against the man who was superior to him in the snatch phase, and that, of course, was Mr. Butt from Pakistan. So, New Zealand. No question about that. That's a very good first attempt. So zooms into first place with a total of 388 kilos. Gurdeep of India down to silver. Patelo Tuiloma to bronze.
And new games record in the clean and jerk and total. David Litti, ever the performer. This is huge. Well, Singh Gurdeep not happy with the bronze medal. He fancies something a bit shinier.
Well, he's cleaned it. Oh, come on.
Oh, let's see what the referees make of it.
2-1 in his favour. Celebrates. It was the central referee who wasn't happy.
There's no movement from the jury. They seem happy. Maybe they did look around at each other. But they haven't raised the flag, so the clean is good. Let's take a look at the arms. I thought I saw movement. We've seen lifts much better than this get failed, bent, and straight. It's small, but that's how fussy the refereeing has been at this championships.
But he's earned himself 390 kilos, new clean and jerk record, new games record, and he finds himself 2 kilos ahead of David Litti defending champion, who has 2 attempts at his disposal. Mohammad Nooh Dastagir of Pakistan just waiting in the wings. By the way, he's dropped his opening attempt from 230 to 225.
Easy clean, his jerk is always so solid. Don't tempt fate.
There's the extra 6 kilos. So up to 394. Now I have a fancy here, Michaela, that he's really going to want Mohammad Nooh to come out on 225.
You see now, he's going to whack his 3rd attempt up, super high, force out Mohammad Butt, and then see what he needs.
Yeah, exactly so.
That was brilliant, though.
So 4 lifts left in the competition. 3 of them belong to this man, 1 to the defending champion. 173 kilos and a games record in the snatch. So the leader at halfway over David Litty by 3 important kilos. Number 1, he says.
Well, he certainly is at the moment. This was an outstanding opening lift. We take a look here. He gets good power, brilliant strength to stand. Now we see here a power jerk. He doesn't even bother recovering his feet afterwards. And that's absolutely fine. Just the feet need to be in line, which they are. Straightens the legs. Lift is finished. Job done.
4 kilo advantage. David Litty's sure he's not going to stay on 225. They've got to... Exactly. So the Kiwi camp have put the bar up to 228.
Get himself into the lead now rather than being drawn into this cat and mouse situation. If David Litty does come out and try and go into the lead, he has to then sit and hope that Butt fails the next 2. Oh, he's going at 32.
Well, just imagine, you know, a card table and everybody just pushing their money into the centre. So it is Mohammad Nooh who said, I've had enough of this. I'm going to come out at 232. So this is a 7 kilo increase, which would take him to 405 kilos. And remember, this is only his 2nd attempt. It's there.
Surely he cannot be beaten now. Is that enough for the gold medal here in the men's supers? One man between him and that gold medal. David Litty has an uphill battle. Here we see strong clean. It hits him hard at the bottom. Then has to readjust the hands.
Well, he needs 12 kilos.
The jerk here, super powerful. The power jerk straightens the legs to finish the lift. Doesn't need to bring the feet back so long as they're in line. David Litty not playing the game. He's going for, is this a personal best?
232, just having a look at this for David Litty. He's actually got a best of 236.
Well, he's the silver medalist. He's not going to take gold with this, but he's asking the crowd to help with the lift.
Effectively, he's accepting the fact that heavyweights, but from Pakistan, who is the Commonwealth Games champion. Well, he finishes on 394, takes the silver medal. Singh Godi of India gets the bronze, and Mohammad Nooh Dastagir is the Commonwealth Games champion of the super heavyweights here in Birmingham in 2022. The man who got the bronze medal 4 years ago now elevates that to gold.
And I think we're going to find that is game over. Mohammad Butt does not need his third attempt, and I don't think he's coming to the platform. In fact, he's going back to the warm-up room.
Yeah, to be honest, you can't blame him. And so, the Commonwealth Games weightlifting, in terms of the action, comes to an end, and here's the lift that did the greatest damage.
232 kilos to give an overall total of 405. This was big. And this was Mohammad Nooh Dastagir from Pakistan, Commonwealth Games champion in the men's super heavyweight.
There it is, a Games record. 232 in the clean and jerk. He gets all the Games records. And of course, as Mikhaila said, he will very shortly collect the gold medal. So Pakistan take the final gold medal, the 16th gold medal of these Commonwealth Games weightlifting festival of sport here. Just to confirm how it all finished, there you have Mohammad Nooh Dastagir of Pakistan, all the Games records: 173, 232, 405. David Litty on this day just not able to match the man from Pakistan. A very decisive victory by 11 kilos. And indeed, Singh Godi in the bronze medal position, ahead of the rest by some margin. Let's just have a look here. The man who got the bronze medal, finally, fourth 4 years ago. But now the man who is supported by the Indian Railways has got a bronze medal. David Litty was excellent 4 years ago, but today just couldn't manage the man from Pakistan, who he defeated 4 years ago. But this is the man who brought his A game to the competition. Absolutely dominant, super confident, and terrific in his execution, and quite rightly looking for the crowd to really respond to a sequence of perfect lifts.
The medal ceremony for the men's 109+ kilogram category. Please welcome The medals will be presented by Joseph Miami, Secretary General of the Commonwealth Men's Association of Sierra Leone.
With the honour of presenting the final set of medals.
Accompanied by Prem Narayan, Secretary General of the Commonwealth Men's Association of Fiji. Bronze medalist, representing India, Gurdeep Singh.
4 years ago, it was only the bronze, but now, sorry, I should say it was only 4th place, but now it's the bronze. 167 kilos in the snatch, along with 223 in the clean and jerk to achieve 390 kilos to earn him the bronze medal.
Silver medalist, representing New Zealand.
Singh, 26 years of age, the same age as this man, David Litty, who just had to accept today that silver was where he was destined to finish. 170, 224, 394, missing out by 11 kilos. So to the new Commonwealth Games champion at super heavyweight.
Representing Pakistan, Mohammad Nooh.
Only 24. He's turned bronze into gold with all the games records. 173 kilos in the snatch, 232 in the clean and jerk to give himself a total and a new games record of 405 kilos. The clear and decisive winner representing Pakistan. Collected these very special Commonwealth Games medals, and it's the national anthem of Pakistan that will bring proceedings to a close here.
For those who are able to, please stand for the anthem of Pakistan.
Well, 5 super days of sport in a wonderful environment. And weightlifting at its very best.
We have been privileged to commentate on a wonderful competition. This Commonwealth Games has been something special. And notably the fact that we have the crowds back, we have the atmosphere back, we have our sport back.
Indeed, and 3 very happy men collecting those very special medals.